Hi friends. So today in the second part of this particular tutorial of MCP, so what we are going to cover today is that we are going to cover the development environment setup, how we want to set up our development environment to code on MCP. So the thing that I am going to demonstrate you today should be a very short video, but it is a much need before we start our coding. Okay. So, and all the things that I'm going to show to you today, like the UV, NPM, NPX, and other things like MCP CLI, OpenAI, Google Gemini, Claude Desktop, all are free. And also in our subsequent tutorial, we are going to host our MCP server to Azure Cloud itself. So, and that position also, if you sign up with Azure Cloud, I believe the account should be free for 3 months with some kind of credit to your account. So you can use it freely. So everything that we want to set up today is completely free, absolutely. So let's, roll our this particular episode where we just talked about and show you how to set up our development environment for future work. Now, before finishing the video, I want to say that, please do subscribe to this channel. Please put like comments on this particular videos that I'm publishing over here because that is the only encouraging element for me to keep going. Okay. So please keep give something to me encouraging. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hi friends. So we have seen that the basic concept of MCP and how the MCP client first communicate to the server and all those stuff in a very simple way in our previous journey. Now this time what we are going to do that we need to set it up our virtual environment to work on the MCP server client. So first thing first, we need couple of software over here to work on. So first, I will prefer to work, this is my personal preference to work on the Python code. You can choose any other editor of your choice. But for me, I will be working with Visual Studio Code because it's completely free. And another part is that it comes with a GitHub Copilot, okay, which is also a free thing. So it's work as an agent, so we can use it as an MCP client also. Correct? So how to install this particular, Visual Studio? So what you need that, you just need to copy this URL from here. Let's copy it, okay, and just paste it over here. What happened? It's just not popping up. Okay, so let me click it. So it will give me the Visual Studio code editor. Okay. So once you come over here, code.visualstudio.com, what you need to do that, you can download it for Windows, or if you have a different operating system altogether, you can download it on that way also. So if you can click on the downloads, it will represent it with, Windows. It has a Linux version also, and it is a Mac version also. Based on your Windows installer, you can use the Windows installer. We can zip it, and we can use the CLI command also. But for my own personal preference, I will see that, if you're having a Windows laptop, then, use the installer. It's pretty straightforward. Use it, download it, it will be get downloaded on your folder. After that, you just need to install it. That's it. Okay. A very simple thing. So already I have done the installation for myself. So here is my Visual Studio Code from where I'm showing this particular document to you. Okay. So we are done with it. Now, as I told you, so okay, we can see the GitHub Copilot over here actually. If I go over in the Visual Studio, you will see that GitHub Copilot is just over here. To activate it, what you need a Git account. So Git accounts are absolutely free. So you can create it on your GitHub and sign it with the GitHub Copilot to activate the agent mode. Now, what we will do that, the second thing we'll be needing the call Python. Okay, because in this tutorial, we will be working with Python actually. So obviously you need Python. So how to get it? You can click it over here, python.org. Okay. Now you can go in the download. Okay. Based on your operating system. So let's say you are working on Mac, you go for Mac. If you're working on Windows like me, you can go over here. you can download the Python installer. I'm running on 64-bit over here, so I will download it. So already I have downloaded it. So, I cannot reinstall it one more time. But once you install it, you click it, you install it. What will happen? You just need to fire up the command prompt, just write CMD over here. The command prompt of Windows will come up for you. Okay. Now, if you type Python, okay, so you see that, this kind of information will be revealed in the command prompt that says that, for me at least, Python 3.132 has been installed on my system. But if you're not getting that thing in your console prompt that, while you are typing Python, you are not seeing anything, so that there is something wrong in your Python installer, reinstall it and reboot your system, reboot your Windows. That will solve the problem for you. Okay. So that's the number 2 installer that you need to have it. Okay. Now coming to the third section, what do we need? We need a Claude Desktop. Okay. So again, the simple thing, click over here, go to the Claude Desktop. So Claude Desktop is nothing but you can say that it acts as a MCP client and host over here. So it's pretty simple to install. Again, based on your ways, you just need to download it. I have already installed Claude for myself, and you can see, once you install this particular icon, Claude will come up for you. Okay, so you can follow up this step. Okay, so you can download it from here, Windows. Okay, fine. Now, what is this next thing? We need UV. Yeah, we need UV because you see, for some reason actually, still on MCP, you can work with pip. So pip is a Python package manager, a renowned Python package manager, if you know that, okay? But for MCP, due to a strange reason that, the MCP prefer the UV, okay? So you need to install this UV better to have it, okay? So now if you click over here, you will land over the, this particular website where you will find what is UV and how to install it. So just click on the installation over here, okay? So based on your operating system, if you are on Mac or Linux, you can use any of these over here, okay? Or if you are on Windows, you can execute on PowerShell, okay? You can use it by pip itself, pip install UV, okay? Homeview and WinGet option is also there. So there are a lot of options to install the UV, okay? So what you can do, if you prefer, you go to this in a particular command over here on the PowerShell, copy it and paste it on your console prompt. So that will work for you. Okay. So I have already done it, but how do you know that even UV is correctly installed on your system or not? Okay. So for that, what you need, again, you need to bring up your command prompt. Okay. Now in your command prompt, if you type UV, then this kind of information will be shown back to you. Okay. Like, UV command run, init, add, remove, this kind of commands and all the other information will come up. If you see this kind of information is coming up for you, then you have perfectly installed the UV on your machine. But if it is not coming, then please try one more time, restarting the Windows one more time, try to do the installation for your preferred operating system. If you are in Mac, you can use curl. If you are Windows, you can use PowerShell, and lot of options are there. You can explore around which is best for you and do the installation. The basic thing is that you need to have UV on your laptop or computer from where you are working right now. Now, one more thing we'll be needing, that called Node.js. Okay, so Node.js, if you are familiar with JavaScript world actually, so NPM is the node package manager. Okay, so once you install, you have a MSI version of over here for Windows. Okay, and if you change your ways, then you will get for Mac and Linux also. Okay, so once you install it, you have to download the installer and click it and install it. So if you install it, then Node is installed on your laptop along with the NPM and NPX. Okay. So if you are wondering, what is a NPX and what is the NPM? NPM is a node package manager, and NPX is sort of manager, but it does not install anything on your system. Okay. So I have given a link over here, a beautiful link that I find it out. Okay. So this is the Geek Force. So if you want to understand what is the difference between an NPM and NPX, just for a knowledge, it's not needed actually. Okay. So you can go on this article, you will see that what is the difference between NPM and NPX. Okay. But why we need this? Because the reason behind that is that if you go to the MCP mother side, okay, so you know the MCP mother side, correct? So now if you go to the, any kind of, let's say you want to see some kind of server over here. So let's click on the servers, okay. So a lot of server come with a NPX actually. That is what you need it, okay. So you see a lot of servers they are here, correct? So what you were looking at now, let's see, let me, you can explore around, there are a lot of some server, third-party server, community server, all are over here. You can do it on your own way, which one you like. Just see, whether it is free available but, or need some API key to activate it, something like that. So now we come to the community server over here, okay. So I will pick up the, NVB, okay. So, and if I click on it, how to get the thing installed over here, you will see that, you just need, see, this is the argument, NPX. That is what you need it actually. Why you need it, okay. So that is what you need, this particular NPX on your working station, okay, just to see, so that once you configure your MCP host or client, you can execute this command. NPX needed to be present on your system. Okay, that's the thing that I wanted to show you. Okay, that is the reason behind it, installing the node or the NPX. Now, let us go over here. What do you need extra? So these are all extra information. So you need a LLM account. You can use OpenAI, you can use Gemini, okay. So, or you can use any other LLM that you want to prefer to work on, because see, while you work on the agentic system, building an AI client, this kind of thing actually. So obviously at that point you need to have a LLM, large language model. Okay. So which one you are going to use, that's completely up to you. Now, if you want to use OpenAI, you can click over here. Okay. I will just take it, somewhere else. Let me log into the OpenAI with my account information. I will come back to that. Okay. Just give me 1 second to log in. Hold on. Okay. I have logged into the platform.openai.com. Just remember this URL, platform.openai.com. This is the API platform. Okay. Now, once you logged in, actually, I believe, it was long back I created my OpenAI account, so I could not recall and the present status. I don't know actually, but it's a free, actually, the sign up process is completely free. Uh, as far as I remember, once you sign in for the very first time with your email address, then OpenAI will give you a credit of $5 for 3 months, as far as I remember. So try your luck. I believe for the first time it is actually free and it is giving you $5 to try it out. Okay, so it's also free. You can say for next 3 months with $5. $5 is enough to complete this particular tutorial for you. Okay, or you can try your luck with Gemini also. No uses of that. No problem, absolutely. Now another thing you will be needing that you need a GitHub account. Why? See, generally to work on the large language model LLM, with the agentic application, you don't need a GitHub account. Okay. The only purpose is that, in MCP, we have two protocols, right? Generally, we work on two protocols, STDIO and streamable HTTP. Now, STDIO is like that. It's work, when to use the STDIO. Okay. So the purpose is that when your MCP server and MCP host client all are in the same working station, like your laptop, then obviously, for the communication protocol, you will be using the STDIO because it is not leaving your laptop or your workstation. But in case that, you create a MCP server and you host it on some kind of cloud service. So we will give you the demo hosting the thing on Azure portal itself, means on Azure VM. Okay. So when you want to do that, you need to take the code from your GitHub repository. Okay. So for that purpose, you need the GitHub, but not essential. There are many ways to do it. But for this tutorial, we are going to leverage the GitHub. We'll push our code in a Git public repo, and thereafter we'll clone the code from Git public repo to the Azure VM itself, and we'll execute our server on the Azure VM. So that was the whole purpose for having a GitHub account. So even a GitHub is completely also free, and Azure is not costly. It will ask for your credit card information, but it will not charge you. I believe, for the first 3 months, it will give you a handsome credit also. So all the things are either free or you will have a free credit for next 3 months to use. So what does it mean? It means that to run these particular things that we will be working in this series actually for MCP, you don't have to pay anything. Okay. So you don't have to pay anything for any service provider. And in future, if you like the approach and you are getting into it, so you can pay it also, right? But for now, for this particular working session, this kind of YouTube video, when you practice along with me, okay, you don't need to pay anything to anyone. That's the point that we are making it clear to you. Okay. Now, so once you install the UV, it's very simple. So you just go on the Visual Studio. Where is my Visual Studio? Come on, here is my Visual Studio, correct? So I just need to bring up the new terminal over here. Okay. Now you see this is a completely blank folder, right? Only one README file. There's nothing actually. Okay. So what we need to do actually, you need to run the UV init. Okay. UV init. So you can supply your preferred project name after the init, but I'm already working on this particular folder, so this is my project name, so I'm not supplying that argument over here, but you can. Okay. So if you supply UV init, okay, what is the problem? Name must start with a letter digit containing blah 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 blah. Okay, we got you. Okay. So what happened over here that we put a and sign over here, so it is refusing to create this particular environment. So what we need to do actually, it is pretty simple. Can you rename it from here? Let's try. I believe it will not allow us to rename, right? Okay. So okay, let's do one thing. Let's create a subdirectory over here. Okay. Let's say okay, MD test1, something like that. Okay. Now we just change to test1. Okay. Now I believe it will allow me to create. Let's see. UV init. Yeah. Okay. So it's initialized our project. So our project name is test1 for now. Okay. So you see under this test1, it created the gitignore file, Python version file, main.py file, project.toml file. It will contain all the information around the project, like the dependency of Python version what you are using right now. Okay. So and it will have a empty readme file. So we run our first command. What is next? The next is that what you need to do over here. So you run this command. It's called UV init. It's initialize the project for you. Now, for working with every Python application, we need to create a Python virtual environment. Okay. So let us create a Python virtual environment. So what we need to type? UV v over here. Okay. And look at this. It will create the virtual environment for you. Here is your virtual environment. It's getting created over here. Correct. You see the virtual environment has come up. .vnv. Okay. Now, let me give you a small description around it. So what is happening? You see, this virtual environment has been created, and why we are calling it even a virtual environment? That's the question. Correct. Now, if you go under the script folder, you will see that there is a called python.exe over here. So any package that we want to install, it will come under this lib and it will be executed by this python.exe. Okay, it is not going and configuring your global Python system that is installed on your laptop. Okay, it is only creating a virtual environment, means small sandbox kind of thing over this particular folder, so that it is not spilling over to the entire system of your laptop. That's the only thing. And here we have the activate.bat. So how do I activate this virtual environment? So I created my virtual environment. That's fine. I can see it. Okay. But how do I activate that? Okay. Now, you can do it on PowerShell. You can do it from command prompt also. Now, if you bring the command prompt over here, you will see that, there is nothing. Now, if you type where Python. So you see, it is not picking up on your virtual environment. It is going actually for your global version of the Python that is installed on this laptop. Now, how do I convince this command prompt that you need to look for the virtual environment, and under that you will see that python.exe over here and use it. So there is this very simple thing to do. So only the thing you need to do is that just write this command. Okay, so it should be .vnv, a subfolder under our okay. Hold on. So we need to go to the test one. Don't complete me yeah. So now if you write the .vnv/script activate. Oh, I miss activate, right? Correct. So now what happened? You see that the test one has come up over here. So it is indicating that it is taking the Python from this virtual environment over here. Okay. Now if you run where Python, you will see that it is taking on your virtual environment. So you see the first line from where it is taking. Where Python means what are the Python option available in my laptop, something like that. Okay, so it is taking, or it is always take the first one. Okay, so you see this was not appearing before, now it is appearing. So it is taking your Python exe from here. So that is all about the virtual environment setup. Okay, now for MCP, yes, we need the MCP CLI over here. So you can install the MCP CLI right over here. Okay, so there is no problem with it. So you just just copy this command. Okay, if uv add so what do you need? Uv add MCP CLI, and that's all. That's all we need. It's installing the other libs. Now the beauty is that now if you come down over here, so MCP has been installed on this particular environment. So now if you type let's say MCP it will come up sometime. For the first time it takes some kind of time. You see that it has come up. So it says that what do you want? Is it MCP version that you want to run, MCP dev you want to run, MCP run you want to run, or install you want to run? So everything has a very pretty clear purpose over here. So in our next tutorial we'll see then what are the MCP dev, MCP run, and MCP install. Definitely we are going to see that when we create our first server in the next tutorial. Okay, so as of now, if you reach down up to this, then this particular folder, your virtual environment, everything has been set up for you. Okay, now it's time to do some kind of coding. So stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you.